Hello again, YouTube. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. Now, I want to get back to Isaiah 4 and 1. I went a little heavier than I normally do on Saturdays. But it was just a couple things that was popping up that I wanted to get out the way that I wanted to talk about. We will be going live later on tonight. So I would encourage anybody that got questions or anything, just make sure you're in the live. Y'all see them popular YouTubers again. Be in the live, hit the like button when you come in. They all pretty much, if you look at a lot of them, they talking about the same subjects. I ain't even talking about the submarine because everybody else talked about it. Like, I don't always like talking about what everybody else talks about. So I didn't even talk about the submarine like most of the bigger YouTubers have. But give them a break, man. Get in the fresh live. See what I'm talking about. See what I got going on. We'll be there tonight. Turn on your notifications so you'll know. It's Saturday night, man. Most people don't have to work. If you gotta work, I understand. Like, you might work at a hospital or something like that. Some people gotta work tomorrow. But I want to get back to Isaiah 4 and 1. Isaiah 4 and 1 says, in that day, it's talking about a future day, a future event, a future series of time. It says 7 women will take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own food, wear our own clothes, only let us be called by your name, take away our disgrace. Now you're starting to slowly see a lot of them starting to change their tune. You still got a lot of the pay me girls, pay me, do this, do that. But it's slowly going away because guys, ain't how a guy gonna pay you and he not even trying to holler at you. He not even trying to approach you. So how you gonna have a pay me attitude and you not even in demand? Guys ain't even coming for you, ain't even checking for you. Pause on the coming for you. Get your mind out together. But so it's not the same. And then you got a lot of women that's married right now. They done sabotage their marriages, some of them. And so they want to believe that they gonna just come out here and be in the front and pass everybody up. But you gotta ask yourself this: the guys you get, why didn't somebody else already have them? You gotta ask yourself that. Now, it might be a couple guys this coming out of a bad relationship and they still like good guys in terms of relationship. But women be thinking they gonna come out here and go to the front of the line. Yep, and guys, let me tell y'all women something about guys. They'll make you feel real special till they done knocked it out a couple times. And then they get that slide in feeling, and now they ready to move on to something with more grip. They're gonna knock your walls down, and they're gonna move on to something with more grip to it. Like there's women out there that think they might, well, my stuff tight. I ain't been messing around. Yep, right now it is. But these guys gonna knock your walls down too. You best believe it. And some guys will tell you whatever they gotta tell you to get to them walls. That's what people don't be understanding. Like, it's a lot of women in their 40s and 50s that's stuck in the 90s. They think that everything is just like it was in the 90s. Some things are, but most things aren't. Like, y'all think we was good liars. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. So, that's the disgrace. Like, women, they tried to change, they tried to rebel against the setup that the Most High set up in terms of relationship, where the woman is to help the man. Women think when they make more that they supposed to control. No, you still there to help. You still there to help that man. whether you make more than him or not. And that's why a lot of women don't have. Well, I just work all the time. I'm focused on my work. Yep, and one day you're going to get old and you're going to wish that you had somebody to hold hands with, to watch the movie with, so on and so forth. So don't get that caught up in your work, and don't be super duper picky where a good guy can come along that's going to treat you right and you just focus on his height or how much money he got or stuff like that. I gotta have a dude with good teeth. Well, listen, you looking at one that I don't have the best grip, but I can give you a lot of thrills. You know, so you want by teeth? Yeah, okay, he got good teeth, but he got herpes too. Who's keeping score? You see what I'm saying? That's why you can't go by like little stuff like that. So you say, well, ain't bad teeth dudes got herpes too? And that is true. I don't got no, hey, listen. I sue a chick, she'll be paying me forever if I caught an STD from you. You know you can sue people for that. She'll be paying me forever if I caught some one of them like herpy chirpy or something. I'll take her right to court. That'd be like an extra income for you ladies. When y'all got that, get with a guy who has that. Don't be trying to get with people who don't have that. That's how you spreading that stuff. If you gonna deal with a guy, deal with a guy, he got it too. Y'all both got it. Them the guys you should be dealing with. So, what is he doing? That's a wide turn. What's that, a kid? Stolen car? But I want to talk mainly about arguing and why we should not be arguing with these women. And I believe I had the last argument I'm gonna have with a woman earlier. And it was just like, most of the time it's just over stupid stuff. Like here's one thing I don't like that people do. If we talking about situation A, don't, because you can't explain situation A, you want to bring up situation B. Like they say, well, you what you saying, what you saying, all. People try to put words in your mouth. Like, but when we dealing with these women, we shouldn't be arguing with them. Arguing with women, that's instant emasculation. You being emasculated. I don't care if it's your boss at work. You tell them what you gotta say. Like, oh, well, you're working. They say something about your work. Be like, okay. So how you want me to do it? Like, you supposed to defer to management. But even if your management is a woman, you still use the same principles. After she stated her case, you end the conversation. There ain't no need to hear all that extra talk. And if they real bad, like they getting under your skin, like getting on your nerve real bad, then listen. Sometimes you gotta quit. Just like you dump women, you gotta dump jobs too sometimes. The situation might be different, but the principles work the same. We should not be arguing with these women. We just shouldn't. Like even with guys, man. I'm not finna sit and argue with a guy. After a while, I'm gonna be like, man, what you trying to do? You trying to fight? You trying to get in a shootout? Or you want to just solve this like responsible adults? I'm not gonna keep arguing with no dude. I'm just not, especially if I know I'm right. Like, I worked in jails, and a lot of times, like it worked different sometimes, because when you work in like a halfway house or a detention center or like a jail, some people you might have to argue with them a little more. That's the only way they're gonna understand. You can't use the same strategy with everybody, because when you amongst guys, it might work a little different depending on their personality. But with women, it worked the same, and it should work the same. Like, guys, we have to learn as men to solve our issues with each other without violence. And we shouldn't be arguing the whole time either. We men, what kind of stuff is that? Like, but I be watching these guys, and I'm gonna show you something, a little off subject, I noticed that women, like I noticed this one girl, she got the blushing over this dude that looked like a straight up thug. He was acting like he was acting grimy, and she blushing over her. I'm thinking in my mind, that's y'all problem. See, that she wouldn't like, this how they do. She wouldn't like my sons, but then she'll try to come back around to my sons after they done got established, and she done got ran through by the guys like the dude she was blushing over. That's why we got to teach these young guys, stay a good guy, be who you are, and don't let them leftover women, as we call them, don't let them come back and waste your resources and waste your life. You know, we gotta make these women earn it. That's why we shouldn't be arguing with them. Because when you argue with a woman, you taking her too serious. Let me show you something. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I argued more in my marriage than I did with all of my ex-girlfriends times 100. Like if you gave 100 the arguments I had with ex-girlfriend, all of them combined, times 100, I still would have had more arguments in marriage than all of them combined. All of them combined. But what's weird is you live and you learn. Like as I got older, I started learning, like I started seeing mess for being mess, garbage being garbage. You know how they try to say one man's trash is another man's treasure? No, trash is trash. If you try to make trash treasure, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening. So that arguing is like you taking them too serious. If they leave, so what? If they give you silent treatment, so what? If they try to withhold sex, you give them an ultimatum. They always try to give us ultimatum. Like, look, I'm not finna be going without sex. If that's how you feel, then you need to go and find you somebody that you gonna smash. But you ain't finna be in the way. Y'all ever notice how mad women get? I just saw a picture of a woman busting her, I guess it was her baby daddy, his side chick or concubine or however it was. It probably ain't concubine. He don't know how that worked, probably. Her windows, like they get so mad at the idea of you getting somewhere else. They hate that. They want to starve you out and make you beg them. Listen, I ain't nobody finna beg. Listen, if you married, you supposed to be getting more, and you're supposed to be getting a higher quality because you're committed to this person. It's supposed to be more and better than what you was getting before them. Guys be letting, dude, they be getting away. That y'all ever see Coach Greg just showed a cartoon clip of all the women body count, right? It was all these people, right? And then when she got married, that's where it ended. She wasn't giving him none. That is wrong. When they don't give you none, don't argue with them. Be like, okay, it's cool. It's cool. Hey, if that's how you feel, keep your little stuff then. Keep your stuff. Why you say it like that? You'll see. See, we gotta be precise as men. We gotta say what we mean and mean what we say. And no man should be fearing no chick leaving him. Man, don't you know they take up half the bed? Some of them snore. They don't want you to touch them while y'all laying it. Dude, listen, everything ain't positive in no relationship, man. But we act like, some of us act like it is. We act like everything is positive and it's not, believe you me. A lot of y'all, you can't tell me nothing, man. You ain't been in no relationship longer than me. I done seen it all. I done seen it all, man. I'm trying to tell you. And one thing, I remember those days where all I did all day was just trying to please. And it seemed like it was just even more fights, more arguments, more fights. After a while, I started seeing like different behaviors, the double standard, and different stuff. I'm like, you know what, man? I've been a simp. I've been a sucker. And you start waking up. And I did a video on that. When a man start waking up, these women better watch out. They better watch out. So all that arguing is unnecessary, man. You can have multiple wives. You can get rid of... Listen, if she won't get on your program, she's bringing witchcraft in your house. Witchcraft is in your house when an unsubmissive woman is in your house. I'll say that again. Witchcraft is in your house if you have an unsubmissive woman. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. When a woman don't listen to you, when a woman don't respect you, she not only is rebelling against the Most High, or she's not only rebelling against you, she's rebelling against the Most High as well. And the devil will plead a case to be all up in your mix in those situations. I'm telling you, man. Y'all don't know how this thing go in the spirit, man. The spirit is way different than y'all think, man. I'm telling you. The spirit makes its way to the earthly realm. So, let me go back here for a couple minutes. In closing, who cares if she got a nice butt? Who cares she cute? Who cares this, that? What you need to be looking at is, if you commit to her, is it going to benefit you? Is she gonna be just a naggy argument? And nobody got time for that. You deal with that at work, with the women at work, with the people at work. You should not have to come home when you're supposed to be unwinding and relaxing. You should be listening to some jazz, drinking some wine. Maybe some of y'all might smoke cigars, playing some video games. You should not be arguing with no broad when you at home. I'm telling you, that's the wrong one. The right one, no. Let me make him comfortable. I'm gonna make him enjoy his time at home. The wrong one is if she either owns some garbage, like she wanna be sneaky, or she just childish. You gonna be fighting with her just as much, if not more, than them people at your job. You can't even have peace at home. Dump these chicks, man, and get you some new ones, or be by yourself. Take your pick. But we should not be in no relationship that's not positive. So, arguing is a waste of time for many reasons. The next one might have a better shape and a more quiet demeanor. The next one might know how to fry that chicken, cook every day, give you a nice meal, and keep her mouth shut. But you will never know, because you got big mouth. And big mouth is an entitled princess. She think the world revolves around her, which is witchcraft. And let me say this to all of you church women. If I'm talking about you, shame on you. You should know how witchcraft works. You invite witchcraft in when you're disobedient. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. Now you say, well, what about you? What about you? If a man is disobedient when it comes to the Bible, he'll get dealt with too, absolutely. But what if he's not disobedient based on the scripture, but you rebelling against him? You the one that's bringing in the witchcraft. It ain't nothing, that's nowhere to say you have to be married. It ain't nothing nowhere to say you have to be with the same woman the rest of your life. I gave you the analogy about the car. I gave you the analogy about the car. Like, who drives one car their whole life? You know anybody? I don't. Everybody I see, they had this car this year, 3 years later, 2 years later, 5 years later, 6 months later, they got another car. And another car and another car. Now, what makes y'all think that relationships work different? You, at least with a car, you can say, all right, I'm finna put some maintenance into the car and do that. You can't say, all right, I'm finna put some maintenance into these women, because it depends on if she gonna let you restore her, if she gonna let you maintain her. See, we can't, everybody talking about submit, but that's in their control. They decide whether they gonna submit or not. We don't decide, well, I want you to submit to me, and it just work out like that. Most women is not gonna submit to no man. They just not. They in my spot, man. They not gonna submit to no man. And you know this. So let me tell y'all something. Those of y'all who you might not be getting a full understanding of how marriage works in church. If that relationship fails and you make more than her, you're going to be, unless she lets you off light, you gonna be paying her for that decision. It's almost like a punishment. Like when your relationship go bad, it seems like the state be punishing men. That's why guys is on YouTube telling people not to get married. And I'm gonna tell you, the longer you in there, that don't mean nothing. In fact, it's like negative. Like, it seems like the longer you with a lot of these women, the less they respect you. You ain't even gotta be cheating on them. I never cheated. That don't gain you, they ain't gonna respect you just cause you don't cheat. Like a lot of women, if you too nice to them, they not gonna respect you, man. Like they'll respect the complete, this how these women is. These women will be denying their husband sex and then asleep with a dude they met at a bar the same night. Which proves they not worth it, man. Any woman that'll do that is not worth it. I'm telling you. But that's what they do. Like they won't have drinks with their husband. Let's have a drink. Excuse. I don't drink. Excuse. But then they'll be in a bar accepting drinks from a dude that just trying to smash you. These are the reasons why we should not be arguing with them. I'm telling you, their minds work different. Their minds don't even work like ours. That's the difference. They say, well, you got a high body count. Not the same for a man. It's not the same. Trust me, man, it's not the same. Like I told y'all, that chick was practically blushing over that dude. That dude had tattoos here. He talked just like a street dude. Like in Milwaukee, like depending on where you grew up, like you'll have a certain dialect. Most people. His dialect was like an inner city dialect. I know these things, man. Like single mother raised dialect. And then he was shaking his hair. Like he slightly, you know, remember Mr. Roper? But she was all blushing. She already was light-skinned. I'm looking at her, because I be going in there all the time. Like, that's how they be getting in trouble. Right there. Right there. Just like the other girl. The other girl ain't even there no more. I start seeing her with these hood-looking dudes. And now she gone. Where she at? Jail? I'm telling you, man, I know what I'm talking about. I do. And it's like with daughters and stuff, sometimes you can do the best you can and your best still might not be good enough because of the surroundings. And because with girls, like if you press too hard, they're gonna rebel automatically. So arguing with them, with kids in general. Remember, a lot of women act like kids. When you're arguing with kids, it had to be strategic and it should be limited. You should not be arguing with kids all the time. You tell them what you got to say, and that's the end of it. Kids gonna try to do the total opposite to try to try you. Women do the same. They do the same. They'll be trying to get you jealous, which is a way they push your buttons, but a lot of times they be ruining their relationship just trying to make him jealous. Because a lot of dudes, if they anything like me, they gonna lose respect for you. You try to make them jealous. That stuff don't work. And like I say, I was talking about something earlier, how a lot of people make ignorance bliss because they don't understand when you're wrong, admit you're wrong. Like even in Texas, like that's what they teach the kids in Texas juvenile. Say accept and move on. Accept and move on. That's the right thing to do. Like especially if you proven wrong or proven in the wrong, accept and move on. Men and women. If you can't apologize or you can't accept when you're wrong, you gonna mess up your relationship. I'm telling you. Nobody keeping nobody with no sex. Y'all dudes talking about you gotta give her the work of God and all that. You ain't keeping these women with no sex. They'll still cheat on you. That stuff give them the work of God. And then, so you think all these women that's getting divorced ain't getting the work of God? Come on, man. That's egotistical guys saying this stuff. Balls deep. You got to get balls deep. That ain't going to stop them from doing whatever they going to do. It ain't. And some of them, you know how many people been balls deep? But anyway, that's all I had on this one. Be there tonight in the live. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel.